You're listening to Keith Engle, the host of TGI Sports Talk on the national streaming sports Roku channel.
Football season is here, and SeatGeek is my go-to for buying tickets. Now with SeatGeek, every single ticket is backed with their buyer guarantee. We've all had plans change, and when you can't make it to the big game, SeatGeek has you covered. They're the only ticketer that allows you to return your tickets ahead of the event for credit with SeatGeek swaps. So when things come up, I know that my tickets won't go to waste. So what are you waiting for? Download the SeatGeek app to maximize your possibilities and shop live events with confidence.
Good evening, everybody. Keith Engle here for TGI Sports Talk's College Sports Huddle. And it's March Madness, guys. It's already begun. We had some madness last night. Looks like we're live on Roku. We popped off there. Hopefully we're seeing everybody live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, the National Streaming Sports Roku channel. Want to welcome, thank the groups when I share this to them later. Sports Authorities and John Gonzalez, great group. Flo and the gang at Bottom Line Sports. Great stuff over there they do with their podcast, which is on Let's Talk Sports. Lots of great content there. Still good friends with that group. Tanner D and the gang. Who else? Ken Krause at Sports Buds, Sports of All Sorts. Got to come up with a few others. I got to start jotting down some names and getting some thanks out there. Quick shout out to Ralph Williams at RW Media. We were on with Ralph and Smoking Jim Frazier on the sports corner yesterday. That's live from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday. You can catch Ralph on multiple platforms, Facebook, YouTube. He's even got a live radio presence. Ralph does some great stuff. Check him out. Thumbs up, BDH. My guest this week, by the way, will be on 101 with Keith Engle Friday morning at 9 a.m. I'll have Wes Pritchett, former defensive standout at Notre Dame for the great Lou Holtz and part of Notre Dame's last national championship team in 1988. I'll talk to Wes about that and his NFL career and some other topics as well. We look forward to talking to Wes this coming week. What else? So guys, the attorney, we're going to look at my bracket tonight. I'll give you my picks of integrity. There could be some changes as we go through, but right now I got to tell you, I'm leaning towards Michigan State to win this whole thing. I think that bracket that they're in, Auburn's heading towards a second round showdown with Louisville, who's really good. Could be trouble for Auburn in a second round. We'll look at the whole bracket here in a second. That's the weaker bracket to me. St. John's with a tough road when you got Florida, Maryland, Texas Tech playing good basketball. I said Maryland. Two-time defending champion UConn played better in the tournament, Big East tournament. We'll talk more about that. We'll talk about the guys who've been left out. You know, West Virginia is shut up. Your governor needs to shut up. You're going to have a lawsuit because you weren't named the 64th best team in the country and you didn't get to go to the tournament. You should have been trying to watch your coach to see what he was doing. Darian DeVries takes the job at Indiana about 1 minute after West Virginia's season ended. You don't think there was conversations going on there? So be quiet. You know, and again, West Virginia might have a gripe, but you still need to shut up because you're the 65th best team in the country. Them, Indiana. I think Boise State and UC Irvine have a better case than Indiana and West Virginia, quite frankly. I've talked about this ad nauseum lately. And I'll say again, Arkansas, there we go, the SEC, 14 teams in this tournament. 5 of them with records under 500 in their conference and as bad as 6-12 for Oklahoma and Texas. Texas playing tonight against Xavier in the first 4. Right now, American and Mount St. Mary's is leading American 25-22. You can catch that on True TV, and I'll keep you updated here as well. We'll talk all this stuff tonight. AC, how are you tonight? Good to have you with us. Thank you, Rick, for the Facebook update. I know sometimes we have some issues. I've learned that I got to end when I'm sharing like the National Streaming Sports Show or the Mac and Jack Show, something I'm guesting on prior. I've got to stop the feed there or we have a problem. We didn't used to, and I used to run them side by side. Yep, I just got off with the National Streaming Sports, Professional Sports Show. Matt gets on me because I never remember the name. But Tip has been a great addition to that. Tip, that still say he looks like Rip. Tip looks like Rip from Yellowstone. We wish Mac the best, by the way. Linda, if you're checking this out tonight, hope Mac's feeling better. Send him our best. And I want to send a quick shout out to, this will be a bit selfish. I want to send a quick shout out to the Sentai family in Amsterdam. Tony Sentai, who was the proprietor of Crystal Bar and Crystal Restaurante later on for years and years after he and his brother Mark took over for their dad Gabe. Tony passed away suddenly yesterday. Tony, I think, would be 9 or 10 years older than me. I'll say 9. Good guy. I got to tell you, one of a kind, sarcastic, funny, smart. Did a lot of good stuff for a lot of people and did a lot for St. Jude's. My thoughts and prayers go to the family tonight. Carol, his wife, his kids, siblings, big part of my past. And Tony, you'll be missed. So there you go. We're going to get into basketball now, though. I don't know if Tony was a basketball fan, big football fan. We used to have great Super Bowl parties at Crystal Bar years ago. I'll tell you, Rick Sherlock's with us, and Rick, you'll enjoy this. Years ago, the Redskins were playing the Raiders, and I won I think I won the pool, or won maybe the third quarter, on a big run by, maybe it was the game. I think that Marcus Allen, turnaround game. Anyway, Butch Nattole had the final or the third quarter. I don't remember which it was. And I ended up beating him. And I remember him just coming over and headbutting me. So we used to have some fun there. Thank you, Tip, for that. I'm sure the family will appreciate that as well. So good guy. He's one of a kind. And hopefully he's looking down and keeping a watch over us now. So anyway, let's get back to some basketball. Before we get into the brackets, the SEC with 14 teams, as I said, Big 10 with 8, Big 12 with 7. If you can't do math like I can, graduate from Perth, 29 teams from 3 conferences. Got to start paying respect to the mid-majors. And again, I'm sorry I harp on this week after week. But we're going to expand this tournament probably next year to 72 or 76 teams. I don't need, what are you going to do? Give me, one more SEC team and 4 more Big 10 teams, all under 500 in their conference? Nobody cares about seeing Oklahoma in the first round of this tournament, or Texas if they get by Xavier tonight. I think Texas will get beat by Xavier tonight, by the way. Oh, I'm frustrated with that stuff. Anyway, we'll do my picks. I will say too, guys, we still got, I'm going to do my picks right from the ESPN bracketology. So I'm going to share again, because we only got 7 people in here right now, guys. Very poor showing. But maybe it's marketing. I don't know. I apologize if my marketing is bad. But I'm going to put the men's tournament up first. Copy and paste this, or if you can click it, if it's a hyperlink in the comments, just click it, guys. And if you're watching this later on tonight, click the link. Get in the men's tournament. Then, as I'm ordering your asses around, excuse me. Whoops, I don't want to do that. I wanted to get in here and share this. Bear with me a second. I want to share I'm still trying to share the women's. Here we go. So let me copy this link, put it in the chat. Guys, get your friends, share it on your page. Got to get 20 people in this thing. You got till tomorrow at whatever, 11:30, noontime, whenever the games start. AC, get in if you're not in. I might have seen you in there. I'm not sure that I did. Tip, if you're still with us, click it. I know Rick's in. I'm going to write everybody who comes in the studio and comments tonight. I'll probably won't need comments now. Anyway, 29 out of 32. So the 29 out of 64, sorry. After tonight, there'll be 64 teams in this field. First four, not really in. I really hate it when they call them tournament wins. You know, Alabama State with a big win last night, a very exciting game. You often see really good, exciting games with these 16 versus 16. So we got a tight game with the Mount St. Mary's and American. Last night's game with Alabama State and St. Francis was a really fun game to watch. One on a crazy play at the end. Much better than the UNC San Diego State game. We'll talk about UNC a little more. So anyway, almost half the field is from those three conferences. If you want to add in the Big East, now you got more than half the field in four conferences. It's time to respect some of the mid-majors and the teams that don't. AC's going to win. Don't take Notre Dame. Sorry, they're not in, of course. Who else? How many other? I had this. Oh, shoot, don't do that. That's the women's tournament. Here we go. So SEC 14, Big 10 8, Big 12 7, Big East 5, ACC only 4, and one of those is the controversial North Carolina pick. I don't have a problem with North Carolina getting in over Indiana or West Virginia. Sorry, guys. The governor of West Virginia, again, one more time, shut up. Let's see, I dropped my BS button. Just shut up. Now, I think Boise State and UC Irvine have a bigger gripe. I'm sorry. I mean, those two teams, if you take a look at them, now I lost it. I had them up here. There we go. So Indiana, 19-13, 10-10 in conference. West Virginia, close to the same thing. What was their record? I know they were 10-10 in the 19-13. Same records. I understand they're playing in the Big Ten in the SEC. I get it. Boise State out in the Mountain West, who did get, by the way, 4 bids, 2 for the West Coast Conference. So congratulations to them. But Boise State goes 24-10. They're 13. I want to say they were 13-5 in conference. They were 10-1 in Q4. They played Q1 games. They had 3 Q1 wins, 5 Q2 wins. This isn't a bad basketball team. And UC Irvine even worse, 28-6. Not a lot of Q1 opportunities, but they did win one there. 3 in Q2, 12 in Q3, 11-0 in their own Q4. Ohio State, don't give me Ohio State, man. Again, another team under 500. 9-11 in conference. Come on. Time to stop. Chris F. Grave, counting in Oklahoma, how many teams does Texas have? We can't count in Texas. How many teams does Texas have? That's a good question. I can't count Oklahoma because they're not in Texas. Chris, get in the tournament. Get in the bracket picks right now. I know you Canadians want to kick our asses down here in the U.S., so do it. Kidding. So Texas A&M. Who else? It's funny. I could do this easier because I saw another article somewhere that said where are all these teams located. I know Texas Tech is in the group I'm in now. We know Texas is in. That's 3. Well, they're in the first 4 tonight. That might be it. quite frankly. Houston's in. Sorry, that's 4. They're not in Texas. Arizona's not in Texas. And Baylor, 5 teams from Texas. There you go. NC always has the type of talent that can get hot and make a title run. A little run or a title run. If I'm not mistaken, and I meant to look this up earlier, and maybe one of you guys will know the answer to this, but I'm going to try to look it up here. I think North Carolina in Hubert Davis's first season got to the Final Four after starting in the first 4, and I feel like I'm right about this. Let's see a tourney record. Let's see if I get something here. Hold on. Whoop. I don't know if I'm going to get what I want here. Let's try this. So if I look at his first team, they went to the Final Four. All right, let's see if we can see if I can track this. I want to say they played in the first 4. If they give me all the games, give me all the games. Come on, give me all the games. Where is it? Somebody got to help me out here. I want more school info. So, here we go. Sorry, they were an 8 seed. My bad. 8 seed. Yeah. I don't know where I got that thought from that they were in the first 4. Anyway, I was wrong. So stop looking. They do have good talent, right? I mean, they're not going very far. They had some injuries. The guys are getting healthier. The San Diego State team they played last night was not a real good basketball team. Quite frankly, Boise State probably should have been in. San Diego State was missing a couple of their really good players. So anyway, going back to Chris's. So if I count Oklahoma, by the way, it's 6. I don't know. So I got a big problem with Texas, Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Arkansas, all below 500 in the SEC. I'm not going to get on any of the Big Ten teams. Looks like I froze, guys, so bear with me while I come back. I know Sonia had the same problem on the National Streaming Sports Show. So I wondered if you guys see me froze. One time Rick told me I didn't. But this happens if I do an hour and a half, it'll happen twice. It's a StreamYard glitch, and I haven't heard back from them yet. They're looking into it. Pain in the ass. Where was I? Now I'm all verklempt. And what do we think about Darian DeVries, who spent 1 year at West Virginia? He spent about a minute there. Then a minute after that season was over, he hightails it with his son, who I'm sure will follow him, to Indiana. He's got 1 year of eligibility left. His son followed him from Drake. At least he spent 3 seasons at Drake and did very well there. By the way, Drake's a team I like to win 2 games in this tournament. We'll look as I go through it. You think Arkansas is going to win a couple games? Let's take a look at the bracket. We're going to go through my bracket in a second. I don't know. I think they get. Kansas is really up and down this year, right? So you're going to tell me that they're going to. So AC, and again, this could be. You got to take a flyer on somebody. Mine will not be on them, but you'll see I do have somebody else. Arkansas would have to beat Kansas and St. John's to win 2 games in this tournament. I don't think they get by Kansas. Kansas is getting healthy. Kansas will have the best player on the floor in this game. And Bill Self is at least the equal of John Calipari on the sideline. I like Coach Cal. I know a lot of guys don't like him. I do. I'd like to root for this Arkansas team. I just don't think they're going to win a game. But stranger things have happened, my friend. So have at it. Why don't we do this? It's already 7:20, so I'm going to get into my ESPN bracket. So these are my picks of integrity, guys. I will be playing one bracket. By the way, I got to come up with a team in a survivor pool. I mean, it's also in a survivor pool. You pick one team every day, and you can't pick them again. So I got to come up with a game for tomorrow. All right. Regional number 1. I need these games where I can freaking see them. I need this thing where I can see it. Get over here. Well, I don't want to move the whole thing over there, though. Bear with me while I try to figure out what I'm doing here. All right, where am I? I'm in regional number 1. Where am I? How about you put the freaking... Oh, you know why? God, I hate this. So this has got to be... Yeah, this has got to be the... I'm trying to figure out what... There we go. I think I'm in this. I think we're looking the same. This is the South. Sorry. So the first matchup I have here, this is on ESPN. I've got UCLA will play either UC San Diego or Southern. I think I got this screwed up. Hold on a second. What the hell's going on here? Oh, this is the women's bracket. Jesus, good grief. This is why we're screwed up. Guys, I can't even get into the right freaking bracket. Yes, I think UCLA will win the women's tournament. I'll give you my final 4 there in a second. Oh my God, I'm having a bad day. All right, here we go. Now we're going for real. Do we pick somebody else up here? AC's in. AC might have been in. All right, anyway, let's get Keith's picks. Picks of integrity. Any pool I'm in, I'll have the same picks, I promise you. In the South, game 1, Alabama against Alabama State. Alabama State, nice win for them last night. Sorry, your season's over. Louisville and Creighton. I'm going to do one region at a time. Louisville and Creighton. Louisville's on a great roll. I'm surprised they were seeded only a number 8 seed. ACC is being severely disrespected outside of Duke. I think Clemson's a 5 here. We'll see where they are when I get to them. Creighton, again, played tough in the Big East tournament, lost to a good very good, if not great, St. John's team. I think Louisville will be too much for Creighton. And they'll advance, and they will possibly beat. Actually, my bracket says they will beat Auburn in the second round. But we've got A&M and Yale. I've got an upset here. I like Yale. Yale might be better than they were last year when they won a first-round game. Yale's a team to watch out for, maybe winning a couple games. I think they'll lose in the second round. We'll get to that later. Ole Miss and North Carolina. You know, I got Ole Miss here, but I think I'm going to switch to North Carolina. They played well enough. I'm not really sold on these teams at the bottom part of the SEC. And you guys can put any comments up you like, and we're on the South, so any South comments put up, and I'll get to them in just a second after I go through the bracket. I'm going to take North Carolina now to beat Ole Miss, 11/6. Iowa State beats Lipscomb. Marquette, who's been struggling greatly. You know, I'm a big fan of Shaka Smart, big fan of Marquette back to the days of Al McGuire. I think Marquette goes out here to a really good New Mexico team. Richard Pitino's done a great job out there. He's liable. He's a guy who got knocked down a notch at Minnesota, and he's a guy who may be getting looked at for some of these bigger jobs again, if not this year, then soon. And then Michigan State plays Bryant. I like Michigan State. I think Tom Izzo's team is ready to roll in March for the first time in a bit. Second round, Auburn against Louisville. Big turnaround this year. Kelsey did a great job there. As Kenny Payne ran this program into the ground, he turns around in 1 year, finishes second to Duke in the ACC, playing as well as anybody in the country at the end of the season. Auburn has stumbled coming into this tournament. They got maybe, I think, the best player in the country. I know Cooper Flagg is everybody's darling, but I think Janae, what's the kid's name? Not terrible. It'll come to me. Isn't that terrible? Come on, what's Johnny's name? I hate it when that happens, man. It happens too often lately. Jeepers creepers. Basketball. Johnny Broom. Jesus Christ. Sorry. Didn't mean to take the Lord's name in vain. So anyway, he's a great player. I think Louisville wins this game. Michigan, another first-year coach, done a great job after coming in from Florida Atlantic. Turned this Michigan, again, a team in disarray with Juwan Howard. Comes in here after a lot of people thought he was going to Indiana last year. That didn't happen. A lot of people thought he was going to Ohio State last year. That didn't happen. Ends up at Michigan, turns his team around. I think they beat Yale in the second round, but Yale will give them a tough time. I'll take Iowa State. I think the Big 12 will be better than the fourth team in this tournament from the ACC. I think Iowa State will win this game. And Michigan State will beat New Mexico. In the Sweet 16, Louisville beats Michigan. Louisville's on a roll, guys. Telling you. Also in the Sweet 16, Michigan State gets on a roll, a good roll under Tom Izzo, beats Iowa State, and they slow down the Cardinals in the Elite Eight and go to the Final Four out of the South. Michigan State, my team to make it from the South. No comments. I left AC in the dust there. Sorry. Oh, let's go to the I'm going to go to the other side of this bracket. The West. Very tough bracket, by the way. That's why I think Arkansas is going to have a tough time here, AC. One of the reasons. This is a really good bracket. Florida, the number 1 seed here, gets Norfolk State. Easy win. UConn, I think, beats, again, the 9th seeded Oklahoma team, finishes 6-12 in the SEC. UConn's a defending champion. You know, for all intents and purposes, they didn't have a bad year. Very up and down. They got off to a great start, got derailed in Hawaii, ran off another good streak, then stumbled a bit. Playing pretty good basketball the last few weeks and into the Big East tournament. I think UConn wins this game and sets up an interesting matchup in the second round with Florida. Colorado State and Memphis. Penny Hardaway with a great season in Memphis, the only team out of the AAC. Colorado State's playing good basketball. Their coach said, what's his name? What's that guy's name? Hold on. Bear with me. Come on, Colorado State. I can never say his name. I got to see his name to be able to say it. There it is. Niko Medved. There you go. I always want to leave out the D. Niko Medved. He's another guy he's been very picky about jobs. He's done a great job at Colorado State. He won the Mountain West tournament. This team stays on a roll. The 12th seed beats 5 seed Memphis and gets into the second round. Maryland will win. Maryland's playing really good basketball too, by the way. Don't sleep on Maryland. I think they will beat Grand Canyon rather easily. I'm going to take another 11 here against the number 6, Missouri Tigers. I think Drake beats Missouri and goes on to the second round, and they'll face Texas Tech there, who should get by UNC Wilmington. I like Kansas, AC over Arkansas. Bill Self's team has been a little Again, another team that's been very up and down. Fell right out of the top 25 by the end of the season. Won a couple games in the Big 12 tournament. Hopefully got themselves right enough to win at least a game here. And I think that's all they'll win is one game because they're going to end up playing St. John's, who will get by numbers 15 Omaha pretty easily, I think. Second round in the West, Florida will play UConn. Danny Hurley's a great coach. I know a lot of people don't like Danny Hurley. He's a really good basketball coach. He's an interesting dude. Again, I'll send you back to the 60 Minutes expose on him from 2 weeks ago. Google it. You can see it. He's just a weird guy. Great basketball coach. Not going to get it done here. Florida's just too good. I think there's a possibility if UConn were to win this game, UConn would have a shot to make it to the Final Four or at least face St. John's in the Elite Eight. But I think Florida will beat UConn in this matchup. I'll take Maryland, the 4th seed, over as much as I like Colorado State and what Medved's doing here. I think they lose in the second round to just a much more talented Maryland team who's playing really good basketball at the moment. I like Drake to win a second game in this tournament. Their coach, McCullough, is going to be another guy. It's not McCullough. What's his name? Forgive me. I don't remember names the way that I used to, so I apologize. I don't think this is in alphabetical order, so help me out. There you go. Drake Bulldogs. I'm McCullum. I was right. Ben McCullum. First year there after Darren DeVries split Drake for West Virginia for 5 minutes and then went to Indiana this coming year. He's done a great job there. This team's 30-3, guys. 11 seed. They get the 3 seed Texas Tech coming out of the tough Big 12. I think Drake wins this game and goes to the Final Four to face the Johnnies. Oh, they're not the Johnnies anymore. Yeah, they are the Johnnies. They're the Redmen. To me, they're still the Redmen. They're not whatever we call them now. What do we call the St. John's? It'll come to me. I think St. John. Listen, Rick Pitino's done a great job with this team. The only thing I worry about, they play great, tenacious defense like Rick Pitino's teams always do. Basically, baseline to baseline defense. A lot of the game. They've got guys that have emerged, that have transferred in here to this program. They got guys that were here when Pitino came here. And this is why they stuck around. Because he turns teams around. His 6th team he's taken to the big dance. He's going where his NCAA career really took off. He coached BU in the very beginning, but he coached Providence and Billy Donovan right here in Providence where they're playing these first 2 rounds of this tournament. I think St. John's rolls over Kansas. Maybe not rolls. They'll beat Kansas. How about that? So now we get to the Sweet 16 in the West. Florida, Maryland, a really good 1-4 matchup, staying on seed. I like Florida playing some really good basketball. They've been in the top 5 pretty much all year. Todd Golden's done a great job building this program back up from. They were not very good for a long time. We mentioned Billy Donovan. They haven't had a real good team since Billy Donovan left there. But they're back, and they win this game. St. John's will end Drake's Cinderella story in the Sweet 16 and beat them to get to the Final 8 in a 1-2 showdown with Florida. And I'm going to take the Johnnies and Rick Pitino to get to that Final Four where they'll face, and I'll talk about that later, Michigan State. So that's the South and East. Hello, Sonia. How are you? Good to have you with us. Sonia did a great job filling in for Mac tonight. And again, we hope Mac is doing okay and will be back with us soon. So thank you for that, Sonia. This is what I wanted time to implement the show tonight. Let's definitely talk about Friday. We will. Go Duke. And I'm about to go to Duke's region right now. This is my sheet of integrity. This bracket will be my bracket in anything I get in between now and I'm already in about 5. Between now and tomorrow at noon. I'm not the guy to fill out a gazillion brackets This is my bracket of integrity. Yeah, you did a great job tonight. Thanks for jumping in and filling in. Anyway, where was I? So we're going now to the East, where Duke is the number 1 seed. Sonia, if you want to listen here, you might like what you hear. I got some upsets, but I also have some chalk making it. Because again, this tournament is a tournament of upsets early, and then the forum usually holds later on. Not always. We've seen recently Florida Atlantic and teams like that get to the Final Four, but I don't know if it'll happen this year. Duke's going to get the winner of American and who are they playing here? Mount St. Mary's. It's right now 48-38. Mount St. Mary's at the half. Told you we'd keep you updated there, and we did just that. Duke's just too good here. John Shire's a good coach. Cooper Flagg, probably not going to need him here. You may not see Cooper Flagg play in his first game. Maybe he plays limited. He needs to be healthy for this team to go far. And this bracket could blow up based on Cooper Flagg's health. This side of my bracket could blow up. We'll see. Baylor and Mississippi State. I like Baylor, the 9 seed to beat the 8 seed here. These are games you got to pick right to win these brackets, man. 8-9 games, 11-6 games. You got to get them right. But I like Mississippi State. I'm sorry. I like Baylor to beat Mississippi State in this game. Big 12 over the SEC. Again, Mississippi State, a team that I'm not crazy about being in here at 8-10 in conference. I mean, who cares about Mississippi State, Baylor? Wouldn't you rather see Boise State in this spot? Well, they may not be in this particular game, quite frankly, but there's no way Boise State, UC Irvine should not be in this tournament. Sorry, West Virginia, not you in Indiana. Stop crying. I'll go to bat for Boise State, UC Irvine, Bradley. Anyway, Oregon, the 5th seed against Liberty. I got another upset here. Liberty can shoot the basketball. They can shoot the basketball. They don't play a lot of defense. This game could be pretty high scoring. Oregon and Dana Altman has had some decent tournament success, but I think Liberty pulls an upset here and beats Oregon in round 1. Arizona and Akron. I think Arizona will win this. Not a vintage season out of Arizona in the Big 12 this year, of what we've seen here the last several years. But they played better towards the end. Tommy Lloyd has now been in this job for 3 years, I think, maybe 4 years. He's been pretty consistent. This team will win against Akron easy. BYU in a 6 and VCU out of the 8-10. BYU again out of the Big 12. Remember, as I said, 29 of the 64 seeds are from 3 conferences, guys. And next year it gets even crazier. Anyway, I like Virginia Commonwealth. I like what I saw them in the 8-10 final. I think this team is playing good basketball. They play good defense. If they can put the ball in the hoop enough, I think they can pull the upset and beat BYU. Wisconsin will play Montana. Wisconsin faded at the end of the Big Ten season, but I think they'll be good enough to beat Montana here. St. Mary's, another team I like out of the West Coast Conference. They beat Gonzaga twice handily, really, during the regular season before they fell to them again in the conference tournament. Gonzaga kind of righted their season near the end. There was some doubt the last month or so whether they might make it. They're on a streak of 9 straight Sweet 16s. We'll talk about them in just a second. But I like St. Mary's out of the West Coast to beat the SEC team. Vanderbilt, another team with an 8-10 record in conference. St. Mary's is as a veteran team. They got really good guards. Offense, again, they're going to have to put the ball in the basket. Any team obviously needs to put the ball in the basket. Similar to St. John's, they don't shoot the 3 very well, so you got to score more 2s. You got to play good defense and find a way to make up for the fact that you're going to get out 3-pointed in these games. And I think St. Mary's will do that against Vanderbilt and maybe again. Alabama will get Robert Morris in round 1, number 2 Alabama. Again, another team that slid a little bit towards the end. Nate Oates, really good coach. Certainly a talented basketball team. Not very good defense, which we'll talk about again here in the second round. Second round, Dallas. Yes, I got Dallas in the NCAA tournament. Sonia. Duke, number 1 against number 9 at Baylor. I think Duke wins this for fun. I think now will be the time you'll start to see Cooper Flagg play a little more. I think they're going to be very careful with him in round 1. They won't need him to win their first round game. They will need him the rest of the tournament. I do think he returns to full strength against Baylor, and Duke wins that game handily. Liberty, who I have upsetting Oregon in the first round, will fall to Arizona in the second round. Arizona is just too much talent for Liberty. Probably a high-scoring game, by the way. Again, I have Forum holding with Wisconsin beating VCU in the second round. But in the final second round game in this side of the bracket, where am I? The East? I'm in the East. St. Mary's beats Alabama. The 7 seed makes it to the Sweet 16 to face Wisconsin. Okay. So the Sweet 16 matchups, Duke, number 1 against number 4 Arizona. So Forum holds there. Similar to the West, I guess it was. I do like the number 1 seeded Duke Blue Devils. John Shire going to get to his first Final Four as Duke will beat Arizona. I do think St. Mary's again continues their role, beats a good Wisconsin team out of the Big Ten, faces Duke in the regional final, and Duke finds their way to the Final Four, defeating St. Mary's. So that's 3/4 of our Final Four. We've got Michigan State out of the South. We've got St. John's coming out of the West. We've got Duke coming out of the East, and we got one more bracket to look at. We got a couple. Oh, Sonia's got a bunch of comments here. Let me catch up before we go to the last bracket. Where are you? Yes, bracket. Sonia, click the link. Let me put the link back up. I got the women's. We got a women's bracket. We got a men's bracket, Sonia. Let me know if you see them in the, go backwards in the comments and you'll see them there. And if not, I'll probably post them again. I can post them again now. Just put a comment up if you'd like me to post it again. But scroll backwards, copy and paste. I got a women's bracket and a men's bracket. Get in it. Bragging rights. My last bracket busts right away when Duke got eliminated. When that happens, when you take a team. So I got any team, and I've got chalk so far, quite frankly, getting to the Final Four. I might have to shake that up when we get to the last bracket. We'll see. But yeah, anytime you lose a team out of the Final Four, your brackets are in big trouble. Unless everybody's losing the same teams. Definitely Baylor. Mississippi State doesn't belong in, believe me. I know someone who plays football at Liberty. Well, tell them to cheer on the Flames in our first round here. I think they beat Oregon. Tommy Lloyd, 4th season. Thank you. VCU used to live by their campus. VCU's had they've had a pretty good basketball program for the last 20 years. Not Final Four. They've made a Final Four, by the way. I want to say when Shaka Smart was there, we just talked about Shaka Smart and Marquette going out in the first round. Shaka Smart took this team to a Final Four. Dallas. I don't have St. Mary's beat Gonzaga twice in the conference regular season play, but they lost to Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference final. Gonzaga had a very tough year. Out of the top 25 for the first time in a while. Maybe they got it. We're going to get to Gonzaga when we get to the next round here, which we'll get to in a bit. Hello, Linda. If you're still with me, hopefully Mac's doing much, much better. I know he's been a bit under the weather since last weekend, so hopefully he's doing better. Good evening, Dave Guyette. Sorry, we got no Syracuse to talk about for you in the NCAA tournament, but they got to move on from Adrian Autry. Don't print that shirt just yet. I do have him in the Final Four. I'll put it back up. Let me know if you got it, if you don't get it. And the women's volleyball team at VCU. Very good call. You know what? Before I go on to this next bracket, well, I'll wait till I'm done. I'll put the link up as soon as I do this last bracket, the Midwest bracket, where Houston is the number 1 seed. And they're going to play 16th ranked SIUE. Sorry about that. That is the Edwardsville Cougars. By the way, Houston wins this for fun. Now, Houston's got a tough little road here. Somehow I just clicked on them to win this game, by the way. Very interesting. You talked about Gonzaga. Gonzaga plays Georgia. Georgia, I didn't jot down. I believe they're under 500 in the SEC as well. Played very good basketball near the end. Beat Florida. Won a couple games or game in the SEC tournament. I don't think this team should be in the tournament above Boise State, UC Irvine, Bradley, some other deserving mid-majors. I'm going to keep harping on it. Sorry. Gonzaga wins this game, though. 8-9. Clemson, again, ACC with no love. Clemson played some really good basketball at the end of the season, kind of flip-flopping what they've done over the last several seasons. They've been really hot to get started, hit conference play, and didn't play well. Clemson, Louisville, and Duke all hitting on all cylinders the last couple months of this season. Clemson, Louisville, and Duke, I don't know if they combined for 3 losses since Christmas. Well, they did with the tournament losses, but in the regular season. Clemson beats McNeese easily in the 12-5 game. Purdue, number 4 against High Point. High Point is a team, their first NCAA tournament. Purdue's really struggled coming down the stretch here. I don't like Purdue to potentially win one game. I'm going to take High Point here to upset the number 4 Purdue Boilermakers and get their first ever NCAA victory, NCAA tournament victory. Number 6, Louisville will play the winner of Texas and Xavier, which I think will be Xavier. I'm going to take Illinois over Xavier in that game. Kentucky, another team. Mark Pope with a really good start to the season after replacing a used up John Calipari, at least at Kentucky. He did get the Razorbacks in this tournament, as we talked about. I do have him losing in the first round, but he did a good job at Arkansas's first year. Mark Pope did a really good job at his first year, the former champion at Kentucky. Also stumbled late in the season, though. They fell to a 3 seed. They get Troy, and I think they beat Troy easily in this game. UCLA will play Utah State. UCLA, Mitch Cronin, not his best team. Called them out for being soft. A month or so ago, they played a little bit better. First year in the Big Ten. They're a 7 seed going against Utah State. Another one of those teams from the Mountain West that is underrated. Utah State beats UCLA here in the first round. Tennessee's a team that I like a lot. My problem with Tennessee is they don't score enough. Rick Barnes' teams always play great defense, but they don't score enough points. And they lose really good teams because they can't put the ball in the basket consistently enough, especially from 3-point range. I do think they've got plenty to beat Wofford, though, in this first round. Second round, Houston and Gonzaga. I love Houston. You know how much I love Kelvin Sampson. I think he's one of the best coaches in the country. I don't care about his past. All the stuff that these coaches that have been, the Will Wades, the Kelvin Sampsons, the John Calipari's, all the stuff that they've had to do, they did in the past that they should have gotten an electric chair for, according to some people. It's all legal now. So get off his back. In any event, I think the Cougars are susceptible here. And I think Gonzaga and Mark Few starting to play better basketball. Mark Few, like Kelvin Sampson, tournament tested. I think Gonzaga gets it at 10th straight Sweet 16 and upsets Houston in the second round. On the flip side, High Point gets their first victory in the first round against Purdue and comes up against Red Hot Clemson, who I mentioned earlier. Clemson knocks off High Point to get to the Sweet 16. Illinois and Kentucky, a really nice matchup. Big Ten, SEC, mid-level teams at best right now, at least the way they're playing now. Illinois has had a lot of injuries. I'm going to take Illinois to beat Kentucky in the second round, though. And Tennessee will get Utah State. Tennessee will get just enough baskets. This will be a close, low-scoring game probably with Tennessee and Utah State. I think Tennessee will get by them to get to the Sweet 16. Sweet 16 games, Gonzaga and Clemson. I like Clemson, the 5th seed, to get by Gonzaga. Gonzaga, this is a good run for them. It's a great accomplishment. This isn't the best team Mark Few's had by far. To get to the Sweet 16 will be an accomplishment. I think they run out of gas there. And Clemson, playing some good basketball out of the ACC, gets to the Elite Eight. And Illinois will fall to Tennessee to leave a matchup of orange teams. Clemson and Tennessee matchup in the regional final here. And Clemson upsets Tennessee to go to their first Final Four. That leaves Michigan State playing St. John's, Duke playing Clemson, Big Ten against Big East, ACC against ACC. I see the links now. Cool. Okay, I'm glad you got it. Get in there. Just joined the men's bracket. I'm going to give you my women's picks. We won't go through the whole thing, but I'll give you my women's picks too. If that's a star, thank you, Sonia. Gonzaga gets to their Sweet 16, as I said. I have High Point winning one game is what I have, beating Purdue, upsetting Purdue in the first round. Isn't High Point a are they in North Carolina? South Carolina. Maybe they're in South Carolina. You can help me out there. All right. So we've got our Final Four. Where does that leave us? Michigan State against St. John's. Tom Izzo, 2 seed, against Rick Pitino with a 2 seed from St. John's. 2 Hall of Fame coaches, both with championship pedigrees. Both longtime college basketball coaches. Tom Izzo at one school. Rick Pitino getting his 6th different team into the 6th different program into the tournament. Boy, talking 101. He's also going to have his 4th different team in the Final Four if this matchup happens. I like Michigan State and Tom Izzo coming out of that rugged Big Ten schedule. Not that St. John's isn't good. This is a great basketball team. I just don't think they're going to put the ball in the basket enough. It's going to be a low-scoring, rough and tumble game, I think. Old school basketball in this game. Michigan State slides by St. John's to get to the final. And you're not going to like this. Clemson and Duke, the ACC matchup. I've got the 5th-ranked Clemson Tigers upsetting Duke in the Final Four and matching up with Michigan State to play in San Antonio for the national championship on April 7th. and Michigan State beats Clemson to be your new national champion. Tom Izzo with his third national championship. You heard it here first. Don't forget. Where's my other commenters here? I think Connecticut going back again for the women. I'll get to that in a second. I think I like UCLA myself. I think UConn will be in the Final Four there, and I'll do it in just a second. It's by my sister's house. High Point's by your sister's house? Cool. High Point just missed the tournament last year. They lost their conference championship game by like 1 to, I think, NC Wilmington. Or one of the NC Greensboro, maybe. So, anyway. Chris F. Grade with some happy birthdays. Former defensive end John Woodcock. John is 71 today. Came out of Washington High School and also incubated DeAndre Carter, who came out of the bigs. Who came to the bigs out of Sacramento in college. Incubated. Love you, Chris. You're the best. Chris, did you get in the pools? You haven't answered me. High Point is a tiny school. Good basketball team. I got 3 of the same teams as you in the Final Four. Which ones, buddy? What about the Huskies this year for guys? Listen, they're the 2-time defending champions, as I said before, Sonia. I've got them winning. I think they're going to give Florida all they can handle in the second round, but Florida's really good. And I don't think that as good a coach as Danny Hurley is, that they just don't have the horses to get by this Florida team. Could they make a run? Any team can get hot for 6 games. Anybody. There's 15 teams in this, 16 teams I could see making the Final Four. I could make an argument for any one of 16 teams. I think UConn falls short this year. Now, if I go play a future bet because I like value picks, I may take UConn. I wonder what they are right now. Let me check this out, see if I can get to it quickly. I mean, I'm not going to just bet a team that's, I'm going to bet 100 and win 200 or 300. I want a chance to win much, much more than that. Let's see. College basketball, men. I want future bets. Give me some futures, team futures. Here we go. NCC tournament winners. UConn, where are you? Duke is plus 320, by the way. So you got to lay 320. No, I'm sorry. You lay 100, you win 320 if they win the tournament. They're the favorite. I like to find some value. UConn would be a really good value. Michigan State is plus 2,500. I may put a bet on my pick to win. 100 gets me 2,500. That's pretty good value. UConn's plus 8,000. You lay 100, you win $8,000. Those are value picks. Yeah, it's Clemson's going to beat Duke in the national semis. I'm sorry. UNC Greensboro is about 20 minutes away from High Point. I believe that's a team that knocked them out of their conference championship last year and kept them from getting their first NCAA appearance last year. Both in Guilford County. It doesn't mean much to me. I'm from Fulton County. What's that mean? Not Georgia either, by the way. I know. You're a Duke girl. I know. Listen, it's a good basketball team. John Shire's done a great job. He's all in with this team at Cooper Flag, probably one and done. And getting to the national semifinal is no small potatoes. This is a pretty good region, too. I just think Clemson is there's something that tells me Clemson is ready to kind of break that glass ceiling that they have never been able to do. And they're playing really good basketball. Brad Brownell's in his about 14th or 15th year there. Just a really good basketball coach. This team has kind of, as I said, reversed their fortunes from some previous seasons. where they've really got off to hot starts, even hot starts in conference, and then fallen backwards like several other schools have this year. Clemson has gotten hot at the right time. Louisville's gotten hot at the right time. You've got other schools like Auburn has stumbled. Kentucky has stumbled. Duke hasn't. Duke's played well. It's a hunch. Game go either way. You can go to DraftKings or even the betting app that National Streaming Sports pushes. I like DraftKings. I'm sorry, that's why I stopped running the ads. Sorry, but you can get some good values. I'm probably gonna bet my pick at plus 2,500. If you want to bet Duke, you gotta if you bet $10, you're gonna win 32. You bet 100, you win 320. They got to go all the way, though. They got to win every game. You can also bet them to make the Final Four, to reach the Sweet 16. I mean, if you wanted to bet Duke to reach the Sweet 16, you got to lay 900 to win 100. Not a good bet. Sorry, Sonia. I know that. That's why I said I grew up in Fulton County, New York. And when I told you we were talking about farms on the National Streaming Sports Professional Sports Show earlier, I grew up in real farm country, similar to down south. I don't know if we were, not we. I didn't live on a farm, but I went to school with farmers. I mean, girl I graduated, married a guy. Class ahead of us, maybe Greg was 2 classes, Fagans. They still run his family farm today. Corona's farm, Mathewson farm, not a farm anymore, but Cronin and Fagan farm still going strong. What am I right about? 5 players to the University of Toronto invited to play for several CFL teams. We got, what is their national? I think we talked about this, Chris. I don't know what is their. I mean, do they play for national championships in Canada? With you still haven't answered me about getting in that bracket. We know they play football. Do they do basketball at the NCAA level? Not NCAA, obviously, but do they have a comparable level there? I know you're about ready to wrap up. You've got 20 minutes left, 27 minutes, Scott. You're early. 7-0 with this angle. Any NCAA team that starts before noon local time, play the first half under. Scott Colby finds these interesting angles when it comes to betting. I got to come up with a team for tomorrow for the Survivor pool too, which I didn't do. I'll let you guys know who my picks are. I got in 2 picks. I took 2 picks in the Survivor pool, so I got to make 2 picks tomorrow. You pick a team every day, and you can only pick them once. ACC bet Duke at the start of the season at 11-1. That's all they were. 100 to win 1,100. I'm a little surprised they weren't higher, but I didn't pick them to win your bracket. I'll stick to the Final Four. Oh my God, I ain't got 900. Listen, laying 900 to win 100 is not a great bet, man, because anything can happen. Fulton County, New York. Highest unemployment rate in the country for decades. Rick Hardick, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're feeling better. I know you, Rick, has had, again, it's funny, our followers all seem to have some struggles this year. I know Rick has had some, and he's appeared to be doing better, and we're happy to hear that, Rick. Rick will take the Gators. Gonna ride it? Gonna send it in, buddy? On the Gators to win it all? What are they? Let's see, what are the Gators? They're not going to be very high. probably the fourth choice. Their second choice, plus 380. Lay 100, win 380. Good to see you, Rick. Don't be afraid to come in and participate on the college show Wednesdays. Sunday Stream of Consciousness is the show that we really kind of go from one end of the spectrum to the other. We talk about pretty much anything and everything under the sun, sports and otherwise. ACC, 3 weeks ago, I got Clemson at 18-1 to make the Final Four. Nice. See, what are they now to make the Final Four? I should bet all my Final Four teams to make the Final Four, right? Clemson to make the Final Four. Check this out. Duke is 150, or I'm sorry, minus 120. How come I don't have this? Clemson plus 1,400 to win the Midwest Regional. Plus 1,400 right now. So 14-1. Duke probably in Wimpson. Right. Oh, listen, keep those comments coming. Rick Hard, get in our tournament. I'm going to put this up again right now. Let me go back. And then I'm going to give you my women's picks. I'm just going to go to the final. Maybe I'll go from the regionals to. All right. I'm going to put this in one more time for anybody who doesn't have this bracket. This is the men's bracket. And in a second, I'll put up the women's link as well. So either copy and paste or click through the link. Let's see. I want to see if we've gained anybody since we started hawking this. I'm going to share it to my pages again tonight. Probably one more time tomorrow morning. It looks like we picked up a couple people tonight. Scott Kobe was in there. I don't know who. Somebody, I'm going to guess this is Sonia, is a generic ESPN player. So I'm going to guess that if you got in, Sonia, that's probably you. Let me go over to the men's bracket or the women's bracket. Here we are. I'm going to put the link in. I'm going to put the link in here, guys. Get in. Chris, I don't see you in there yet, buddy. What do you got, Rick? This is for bragging rights only, by the way. I just lost a comment Rick had. There it is. Always send it in. Road to Gators. All year been a good year betting wise. Good to you. Appreciate you, Keith. Long health battle. But I'm fighting hard. Keep it up, buddy. Keep fighting a good fight. Saw some pictures. You look great. Good luck with the baseball draft. Is Teddy's League still in play up there? And, I feel bad. I'm not in there anymore. I had a lot of fun with you guys. With some of the arguments that went on. But I miss that auction league a lot. So you guys still running it? Teddy's still running it? I miss Teddy. If you see it, if you are playing and you're having your draft, tell him I said, hey. All right, I'm going to give real quick. I'm going to go into the ladies' bracket. Scott Kobe, you tell me what other angles you got. We got the already teams starting before noon in their time zone. Pick them. Take the under in the first half. That's a great. How come I cannot get this? I can't get my bracket open. Where's it going? I'm not downloading it. Every time I click on it, it's freaking downloaded in the damn thing. Oh my God, seriously? I tell my people all the time, it's probably user error. Probably just downloaded the, pink slip virus. All right, well, here's what I downloaded, so let's see if I can open it. Just give me the bracket already. Can't open it. Son of a gun. What the hell's going on? Let me refresh this page. I don't know what ESPN's doing to me here. Oh, I see. They gave me some screwy. Well, we'll try it again. I've downloaded it now like 6 times. I guess I'm not going to get this bracket open. McAfee keeps doing it. So maybe ESPN has been hacked. I don't know. So I can't get in there. I know I have UCLA winning it all. I believe I have UConn. Let me see if I can get it over here. Let's go to the women's bracket. So I can tell you I have UCLA going to the Final Four. I have in the Region 4 in Spokane. I guess we don't give regions. I got UConn going to the Final Four. I've got, I believe, Notre Dame coming out of the Region 4, but a Birmingham region. And I'm pretty sure, I know I got South Carolina. So that's my Final Four. I have UCLA beating UConn in one matchup in the semifinals, and I've got South Carolina beating Notre Dame in the other, and I have UCLA beating the defending champion South Carolina Gamecocks. Check out the center for Iowa State's team on ESPN. I'll check it out. Let me see. Right now, by the way, St. Mary's is up by 10 still with 12 minutes left. Rick's got me checking out ESPN here, and let's see. ESPN 2. That's the NIT. Which one are they on, Rick? I'm not finding them. I got around the horn there. Let me go to my, let me see if I get my ESPN Plus app open here. So what's the deal with it, Rick, by the way? I'll get to it in a second. We just drafted Saturday. I miss being there too. So I haven't seen Saf in a long time, so drafted early. Wow, because we started games early. Because we'll get into that. Tune into the MLB update on what day do I do that? Fridays at 3 p.m. Is St. Mary's up? No, it's a different game I was looking at. I'm trying to find. Holy crap! I just saw a picture of her. She is a big freaking girl. Princeton, number 11, Princeton against number 11. I got to log in. I don't have my login. Anyway, I see her picture real quick on the thumbnail there. I'm not logged in on this TV to my ESPN app. Yeah, thank you. She's a big girl. Jesus. She's got to be good. Anyway, what else is going on, guys? We got 15 more minutes. Scott Kobe dropped in, gave us an angle, and ran away. Give me your Final Four. Scott's in. I can't see. I'll see his Final Four tomorrow when these are all out. Hope you get in. Hopefully Rick and let's see who we got here. Rick Hardick and Chris F. Graver still in the room. I'll be sharing this again on my pages, my TGI Sports Talk page, and also my personal page. We'll share that. After this show, I'm going to go on to DraftKings and bet, I think, Michigan State to win it all, plus 2,500. Excited about that. Go fill your bracket out. Do that. What do you guys think? I mean, we still got a few guys here. Nobody's commented really on this. Again, I talked about it earlier. Darian DeVries spends about 10 minutes at West Virginia this year. Bitches about not making a tournament. And 5 minutes after that, he leaves for Indiana. You don't think these two guys, these two sides were talking for the last month? The job didn't open up till the day before he took it. Well, I shouldn't say that. Mike Woodson announced 2 months ago he wasn't coming back. I think the school announced it for him, by the way. You saw his lips moving, but it was school making the announcement. Taking his son, who came with him from Drake, Did a great job at Drake. Didn't do a horrible job this year at West Virginia. And I'm sorry you're not in the tournament, but you don't belong there. As don't 6 teams that finish under 500 in the SEC don't belong there either. You know, it's just, I get so frustrated with some of this crap. NCAA football. I love this. So report Stanford's coach Taylor bullied and belittled female staffers. You're not going to get away with this stuff today, guys. You know, I have no problem with coaches being tough on players, but there's zero reason to belittle and bully staffers, especially female staffers. And it's not going to go well for you today. And it shouldn't go well for you. I don't have a problem with coaches that are tough on kids and expect a lot out of them. But you can't be a punk and a bully to your staff. You can be hard. Times I'm not a lot of fun to work for. Most of the time I like to think I'm fun. We like to have fun and be productive and make money. At least till August when I retire. But when you got to be a hard ass, you got to be a hard ass. That's just comes with it. But you got to do it in a respectful manner. You can't belittle people. Don't forget, Sonia, lack of professionalism for sure. Right? You got, again, you just got to be smart. You got to be smart. You can't be that silly. You could be a tough, hard-edged coach without belittling, especially staff. Oh, my God. Whatever. Deion wants a foe for the spring game. So normally, historically, for college football, right, they've played each other, red and white, black and white, whatever colors the schools wear. And schools are now getting away from that. And Deion wants to bring an NFL model practice and scrimmage to college football. And Syracuse seems to be willing to go out to Colorado and participate in this spring game, which will be April 19th and televised on ESPN2. So we could see some actual not real college football. It's still an exhibition game, right? But we'll see what happens there. No surprise here for now and forever. NCAA to let athletes negotiate NIL deals before enrollment. No kidding. Like we weren't already doing this. Did they think we fell asleep at the switch or what? Oh my God, right? Crazy. Right. Here's what we got here left, by the way. Not that I'm counting. Whoops. 161 days, 5 hours, 42 minutes. That includes weekends and holidays and some PTO because I need it already. I just had 2 weeks off in February. I'm ready now for another 4 weeks. It'll come fast. Seems like just yesterday I told my bosses that I was leaving, and that was like January 2nd. And geez, we'll be 3 months past that here very shortly. So it's going fast. Told my staff a month later. It's an interesting time. Oh, good stuff from Sonia. Anyway. NCAA thinks we're freaking idiots, right? Oh, it's okay now. You can negotiate before you enroll. We haven't been doing this. Oh, God. What else we got going on, guys? Bring something up. Will Wade, by the way, speaking of coaches in trouble, Will Wade, who the FBI was chasing all over the country when he was at LSU, was gone for a few years, went to McNeese, has done a great job there. I think he's gotten to the NCAA tournament the last 3 seasons, the last 2 anyway. He's going to become the next head coach at NC State. He's set to play Clemson, as I mentioned earlier. I wonder if he's going to coach. Acknowledged Wednesday he's had contact with it regarding. There's no need to hide it. You guys are reading it on social media. Oh, he's been at McNeese 2 seasons. He 36-2 in conference, winning 57 games overall and back-to-back regular season and tournament titles. It was only a matter of time. Everything Will Wade did, and I said this before, everything Will Wade did, everything Kelvin Sampson did years ago, John Calipari's been accused of. Well, maybe Rick Pitino's stuff wouldn't be legal now, but most of these guys who have been in trouble, suspended, show cause orders, everything else, now they wouldn't be in any trouble at all. All this stuff is legal. All the stuff these guys were in trouble for. Oh, the coach at Arizona, Sean Miller. These guys wouldn't even lose their jobs today. Unbelievable. What kind of work do I do? I'm the sales and retention manager, national sales manager for a large, we'll call it a government marketing company. We supply government contracting opportunities for the private sector. We do all the work. We sell a service that does all the work, finds them bids. If they're bidding for lawyer services, some of these firms do. We find government agencies that are looking to retain law firms or law services. For instance, just to give you an example that kind of fits what you're talking about. And our MDF Commerce is our parent company. They're out of Longueuil, Canada. Interesting time for our company. He's run out all the way out. Ooh. We do well at times. It depends on what we do. Right. But we should. People deserve second chances. It's possible. I could look them up in our database. You don't have to put it here. You can send me a message. I'll let you know. So it's entirely possible. We've had a lot of law firms, lawyers, I should say, whether they're all law firms or not is. And again, it's everything the government does. I don't know how I got on this. Sorry, Sonia. Construction, selling computers, graphic arts, law, as I mentioned, drug testing, anything the government needs to put out for bid, we're looking for those opportunities. So there's a little plug for my company on my way out the door. The guy who got in trouble, he's all run out. Listen, Will Wade was getting chased. Like I said, Will Wade was chased all over this country by the FBI. They couldn't pin nothing on him. Him, Sean Miller, even Bill Self was caught up in that whole thing with the FBI 4 or 5 years ago. Will Wade goes away for a couple of years, comes back to McNeese. Now it's the wild, wild west, so we can do whatever we want. Sorry, I'm getting all excited and my desk is bouncing around. I don't know what's on. Oh, God. Anyway, we've covered a lot of ground tonight, guys. Sunday, when we do the Sunday Stream of Consciousness, we'll have half the Sweet 16 in place. So we'll see where we stand. And it'll be interesting because a lot of brackets will be blowed up, probably mine included. I got quite a few upsets in that first round, but then I get to chalk except for Clemson. So a reminder, Michigan State, St. John's, Duke, and Clemson. I got Michigan State beating Clemson in a national championship game. It's a bracket of integrity. It's the only one I'll put out there. I got to come up with 2 teams for a survivor pool tomorrow. Congrats on a retirement countdown. More vacations coming. Many. Lots of golf, lots of travel, lots of grandkids. So we're looking forward to it. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Sonia. You guys make it great. The fact that we get comments, and Sonia, you carried the comments today. Rick, thanks for popping in today. Hope to see you more on the shows. I like guys with different perspectives. Me, I'm like, you know what? Everybody's got an opinion. They're like, you know what? I go by the Billy Packer motto. I tell you guys all the time, I'm off. I'm sometimes wrong, but never in doubt. Very strong opinions. I disagree with a lot of things other hosts talk about. My viewers will bring up in the chat, but we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun, especially in the Sunday Stream of Consciousness, which we have fun. Thank you, Sonia. And thank you. It's been wonderful tonight. Thank all the groups again that allow me to share this later and drive the views that we get for this show and all my shows, and keep those keep that engagement up there. And again, it's fun for me. I do this it's a labor of love for me, not looking to get rich, just looking to have fun. Thank you for sure, guys. We'll see you Sunday. I'll see you Friday. Actually, I'll see you Friday. Remember, I'll be on Sonia. I think will be filling in for Mac on the Mac and Jack show Friday. I'll have my regular appearance on there at 8 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, I'll be live with one-on-one with Keith Engle, and I'll have Wes Pritchett, former defensive standout with Notre Dame, played for Lou Holtz on Notre Dame's last national championship football team, 1988. Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Wes went on to play in the NFL with the Dolphins, and I want to say the Falcons, but we'll talk to him about mostly his Notre Dame career, which is where he really stood out, but also his NFL stint and also some other things that we'll get into. So we'll welcome Wes on Friday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, and we'll also thank you, Sonia, for the shares. I appreciate that. We'll get off and we'll share this with about 100 others, because I love the groups. The groups that support this show, it's phenomenal what they've done for the viewership. Now we got to figure out, that's my retirement goal, is to figure out YouTube and how to get, 1,000 or 2,000 views a show. Again, 1,000 or 2,000 views may not seem a lot to people who watch Joe Rogan, but in my world, 1,000, 2,000 views is awesome. And it's you guys and the groups that I share it that have really made that happen. So I got to figure out how to do it on YouTube now. Did it on Facebook. Now we got to figure out that. So anyway, Wes Pritchett. Yes, ma'am. So anyway, we'll see you Friday with Wes Pritchett. We'll see you at 3 o'clock Friday with the MLB update. And also on Sunday with the Stream of Consciousness. So join us for all or some of those, whatever you can join us for. We love your input. Guys, we'll see you later. The TGI Sports Talks College Sports Huddle. It's March Madness. Enjoy. Brackets busted already. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Football season is here, and SeatGeek is my go-to for buying tickets. Now with SeatGeek, every single ticket is backed with their buyer guarantee. We've all had plans change, and when you can't make it to the big game, SeatGeek has you covered. They're the only ticketer that allows you to return your tickets ahead of the event for credit with SeatGeek swaps. So when things come up, I know that my tickets won't go to waste. So what are you waiting for? Download the SeatGeek app to maximize your possibilities and shop live events with confidence.
You're listening to Keith Engle, the host of TGI Sports Talk on the National Streaming Sports Roku channel.